now we're going to go into the discipleship topic. What percentage do you think evangelical Christians has discipled one person? 100%, 25%, 5%? Okay, that's not right. Close. You move your decimal. It's 1% only. That's what the survey says. And then I want to show you the next pie chart. It's questioning. I'm going to go to this one. Have you heard of the Great Commission? And this is surveying over 1,000 people in October 2017. 51% says no. So that's kind of sad, okay? We're gonna go into another one. Familiarity with the term discipleship, discipling someone, disciple making. We're talking about Christians here. Only 19% are very familiar. Of course, 44% knows the word disciple because 20 times it was in the New Testament. So we're going to have to improve on this. And here, this Cornerstone will be working on this. It's exciting. So again, a question for all of you, each of you. Is discipling others something that is expected of you? 70% says no. And that's out of 2,511 people surveyed in 2021. That's pretty recent. So I really want you to think about it. Is discipling others something that is expected of you? So we are going to how important it is. Okay, here is. Okay, we're gonna go right here then. If you did 2 people every year, and that person does 2, it does discipling, even though Carol is gonna go into 3, it's gonna be multiplied like this. And my good friend Deborah showed me, if you did 1, how's that? Not very too difficult. 1, and that person did 1, after 11th year is 202,000 people discipling. So there's hope for America here. Let me see if I have the other one. I just knew something like this will happen. So we can partner with God to save the world just by being faithful right where we are. So I want to show you that the people, the Generation Z, the Gen Z people, they have 43% wanting to do discipleship. Even though the boomers like me, it was only 17%. So that's a little shame on me. I'm gonna work on it myself too. But first, it's the prayer for the person, okay? So we are going to go into how easy it is because this lady, Alice Matagora, she's from Navigator, and she wrote a book, Disciple Making Made Simple. So if there are 10 people gonna order this book, I think I will ask her for a discount. We'll see. And then we will ask you to fill out information. But then this book is very helpful in that the statistics that I got show you and the quotes, she said I could use no problem. She gave me the approval. So I went down to Irvine to interview her. And she was one lady, very upbeat. And she, since 20 years ago, she became a Christian on campus. And she has been discipling over 20 people. So she's a speaker at discipleship.org and their conferences coming up. So here's a video of
Hi
her.
friends, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Alice Metagora. I work with the Navigators in Leader Development, and I'm also the author of How to Save the World, Disciple Making Made Simple. So in my current stage in life, for all intents and purposes, I work part-time and I am a stay-at-home mom. So I guess I'm a work-at-home mom. I have 2 kids, Reggie, who's 4, and Clementine, who is 2, and they take up so much of my world in the best ways. In this season of working and raising young children, I often feel like, gosh, I don't have a lot of time left over. And this is a barrier that I think a lot of people can relate with when it comes to disciple making. Disciple making with what time? What time? I don't have a lot of time available. I have work, I have kids, I have this class, I have this show, just all of the things that are in our lives that make adding one more thing that makes it feel really, really intimidating. Now, I often feel this way, and my natural instinct is to want to hold on to what little time I have. One, because it's just a little bit of extra time. What is it going to do? What can God do with it? And 2, just to kind of protect, right? And I need it for something else. Something that God's been encouraging me on is from Matthew 15. It's when the Canaanite woman approaches Jesus and she asks Jesus to heal her daughter. To heal her daughter. And Jesus says that he didn't come to heal. He came for the lost sheep of Israel. He came for the Israelites, not for the Canaanites outside of Israel, but he came for the Israelites. And should I give the food that's meant for the children to the dogs? And what this woman says in response was, yes, but even the dogs will eat the crumbs that fall under the table. And Jesus saw this as incredible faith. You believe, woman, that my crumbs could heal lives, could transform lives. And that's what I've been challenged by in this season, where it feels like I don't have a lot, is simply offer my crumbs to Jesus, that same Jesus whose crumbs included healing someone's life, just raising them from the dead. Those crumbs, that Jesus, that Spirit of God is also in me. That means that when I offer my crumbs, God can do incredible things. He can transform entire lives. So these days, my disciple making, it's not as much as when I was single or when I was in full-time, on the field disciple making ministry, or when I was not a mom. But it's offering my crumbs. My crumbs these days are nap times. So I have 2 girls who come over on different days during nap time, and we meet for discipleship. That's my offering to the Lord. And sometimes when I compare it to what it was before, I'm like, God, it's not enough. But God has been doing incredible things in their lives with my help. And I feel like it's not a lot of help, but they're growing radically, and they're transforming lives, leading others to Christ. They're discipling other women. And I just imagined, God, what if I didn't offer you these crumbs? What could have happened? Maybe God could have used somebody else in their lives. But Lord, I got to be part of these 2 women, both of their growth in you, just by offering what little I had. What else can you do with my crumbs? Now, there might be some people who don't want your crumbs, and that's okay. But God, if you are willing to offer these crumbs to God, He will lead somebody to you. To invest in, to disciple, to lead into a deeper relationship with Him. He will, because He longs to use us, to partner with us for His kingdom. So offer your crumbs. This is my exhortation. This is my encouragement to you. Offer these crumbs to Jesus and watch in amazement as He multiplies it to transformed lives. Thanks so much.
Thank you. So it's like the 2 fish and 5 loaves that the little boy brought to Jesus, and Jesus was able to feed 5,000, right? So there's much to do. Prayer first, but the fruit, I have this verse. We need to win souls. Tree of life is what righteous is doing. And he who wins souls is wise, from Proverbs 11:30. And John 13 says, as we do all this together, it says, by this all people will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one for another. Thank you, Makayo. He knows. So now I'm going to have you all sit up straight, because it's like teaching the little kids of my experience. What we'll do is we have all these words. We're going to read it together, because you use your mouth and it gets in your brain. And as you go into this launch that Cornerstone is doing, you will be prepared, okay? So now everybody together, read it together. Intentional, purposeful, relentless determination, radical kindness, relational love, love opportunities, persevere, discipleship, disciple making, humility, selfless serving, vulnerability. And there are 4 qualities of disciple maker. I go really quick. Optimism for change, accountability driven, relationally motivated, growth minded. So there's a question for the insert if anybody wants to be a disciple maker. And there's fruit bearing from here. Demonstrates a passion to know, love, and become like Christ. Knows and lives from the scriptures. Pursues biblical community. Lives among those who do not know or follow Christ. Advances the gospel through spiritual generations. So what we want to do is look into this Matthew 28, 18 to 20, but I did homiletics. That's the thing we have to do in BSF. And I really jot down to one sentence of 10 words. And it is, we disciple with Jesus, authority, power, and Jesus' presence promised. So we are doing the answer to what Jesus is saying. The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. So we have to pray first, and then in the same way, let your light shine before others so that they may see your good works and give glory to the Father who is in heaven. So I think the next picture we'll speak is what I have. I'm giving you all a coaster. I made it here. I paid extra for doing double side. So you have to use, once this is soil, you use the other side, please. And then I have things for you to remember when you go home. These are cracked open stickers. And if you're gonna put it on bottles like what I am doing, come to me. I have vinyl ones, just for waterproof when you're needing to wash it. So you see that gray hair lady, the furthest one? That's me. When Carol helped me do this, I said, you have to have white hair lady too. That's me. So we're better together, young and old. And I really thank Grace for doing this year's topic of Better Together. And we are going to start with small steps. I know some of you didn't come here to prepare to take on this huge undertaking, discipleship, but it's not that difficult, because Jesus says, Apostle Paul said, look at me, I look at example of Christ. So Jesus said, his yoke is easy, burden is light. So it's easy. I will show you how easy it is, because on the women's ministry table, please take a handout, because you're going to do something simple. You do verses and you can take an action. You can bring someone along to do it. And thanks to Deborah who sent that to me. And that is what you will pick up at the table before you go exiting the door to get a gift. And then you can turn in your things. So I will follow up, okay? I have prayed and God has called me to do this. So Do you all love Jesus? Yes. So Jesus says, if you love me, you will keep my commandments. So you better keep his commandments. Okay, I'm all ready for Matthew 28, 19 and 20, because if Jesus doesn't take me up in rapture, I am going to be on a hospital bed or something. As I'm dying, I'm going to tell my grandchildren, come over. And I will whisper into their ears, Matthew 28, 19, 20, go disciple and make disciples of all nations. So I am ready to show you that the 3 verses that make up, it's like a hamburger. So you remember, we have the command as the meat. Wendy used to say, where's the meat? So that's the meat to go make disciples. But the 2 buns are what's securing the hamburger. Jesus came to them and said, all authority in heaven and earth has been given to me. And that's his power, authority. And on the bottom is teaching them to obey everything I have commanded, and surely I am with you always to the very end of age. That's a promise he will be with us. So how more difficult can it be? It's easy. Hamburger, think of hamburger. You're sandwiched between his authority and his presence. So nothing to fear, right? So here's my last one. I have had Carol make me a QR code. I know you may not contact me now, but one day you might. So scan it and save it. Anything you want to ask, get from me, please contact me. And then I have a last blessing for all of you, okay? We're going to close in prayer, and I will bless you. Heavenly Father, may you bless us. The Lord bless and keep each one of you. The Lord shine his face upon each one of you and give you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face towards you and grant you peace. And all glory, praise, honor to the God in heaven. Amen. Okay, so there's something that maybe Grace wants me to say, but there are 3 questions to discuss. Okay, the minute you discuss, how about just 5-10 minutes, no more than 10 minutes, then they can go out fellowship, right? So Grace and Mercies is with you. Please share a little bit with each other. The first question is, how many fish do you have in your bucket? Okay, is that, I'm not trying to guilt you, but think about it. And then, are you going to obey the commandment to disciple? And have you been discipled before? Do you want to be discipled?